So welcome to tonight's presentation, and let's kick it off with some exciting developments in the movie world.
要成名，我的力量在于正义。
Just like the last video we just seen, against all odds, getting kicked down and getting back up again, 3 years in the making, against all odds. Dragon Man soon to be released over the next 4 to 6 months. The marketing campaign will start for the movie. We've got so much news around the Dragon Man. We'll cover that a little bit later on in the presentation, but it's a great testament to the global investment portfolio, the WorldCRU, Andre and the team of a dream. The dream is to create co-ownership of the projects that we create. And Dragon Man, well, we are co-owners of a soon-to-be blockbuster film. Enough of that. Let's get into the presentation. And I'm going to reshare my screen again. Just give me a second, and away we go. So, what is it all about? Why are we here today? We're here for a brighter future. We're looking for a pathway for better things. And you've got two choices. You can roll down the sleeves, roll over and say it's all too hard, and that's okay. You know, bye-bye. It's woe is me. Or you can roll up the sleeves, take the bull by the horns, so to speak, create solutions to the problems that you get faced with, and away you go. And that's what the Evo Rich community is doing right now, bringing great ideas to the planet for the global marketplace through the resources of the Evo Rich new economic evolution of the world and the ecosystem that is evolving every single day. You miss a week, you miss a year, and boy, you miss out on so much. It's even hard for the best of us to keep up. So it is the Evo Rich is the evolution of wealth. And that's what we're very proud of creating. Why do we do what we do? Because we care. People are the best assets inside our global investment portfolio. That is the most important attribute that we have. And we look after people, we support people, we help and share people with people, our wealth, our failures, whatever comes our way, we want to help and provide the better world, because the world is changing. That is what's happening. You have to be living under a rock not to realize there is a new age that is dawning, and the world is changing forever. The old world that we know is gone. So this is your chance to try something new, to be on the cutting edge of technology, to be on the cutting edge of whatever's happening around the globe. And this is the evolution of wealth.
You are what your business is. You can feel insecure on the market when there are so many difficulties in other businesses because you're young and green. But don't be afraid of it. Come to us. We will open new doors for you. We will introduce you to everyone and teach you everything you need to know to get stronger and start your own way. Now you are strong and ready to go forward, to achieve, to set new goals, and to overcome obstacles. And even if the wind of change and challenge is here, we will not leave you behind. We will support you and help you in any difficult situation. You will be able to achieve any goal. We have people in our community who are just like you, who started from zero and are ready to help each other for a shared development and prosperity. There are so many of us. Nothing can stop us. And when you become experienced and respectable, you will share your wisdom and vision so that everyone could develop. That is the way we build our future together. The future of financial freedom and independence. That is how Average works. The world where everyone can do anything. Everyone can become rich. To leave a legacy. This is our global mission. This is Average.
A life with no limits, and that is only limited virtually with what's between your ears. Think about that for a second. So my name's Bob Fordham. I am a Evo Rich new community partner program consultant and wealth creation and health coach on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, Australia. Evo Rich is a coaching and a mentorship company specializing in international sales and marketing, self-development, leadership strategies, and a whole lot more. Personally, I'm a member of the Generals of the World for Peace since 2019, which is what the world needs now. I'm a certified Category 3 and 2 property investor in 2021 from the Academy of the Private Investor, and also a certified property investor consultant also from the API, a fantastic resource that I encourage everybody to at least get into a Category 3 and 2 to get a real handle on financial literacy, because that is the true pandemic of the world. The suppression of information and knowledge is not what we deserve. Also, I'm a graduate of the MLCI Marathon 260 training course in 2020 from the Academy, an 8-month juggernaut that's seen over 5,000 students participate. And of course, the GoPro in 2020, which I attended with some 50,000 students online in the Network Marketing Pro from the Eric Worre team. Also, I'm a loving father. I have a 33-year-old son for the last 33 years. Soon to be 34, and we can all write a book on parenthood, can't we? So I'm also very, very passionate about whatever I do in life, and I have 3 life memberships for local Australian football and sporting organizations. I love surfing, I love being active, I love looking after my natural health, and this is where I love creating the balance and energy in my natural health world. Through neuro-linguistic programming, I'm a master practitioner and a fully NLP and hypnotherapy specialist. Also, I philosophize that you only get one chance in life to get a great balance between the brain, the heart, and the gut. So I studied nutrition and I've become a specialist, and I've co-authored 3 natural health books, because when you get those 3 in line, then you can spend more time doing what you love to do. And that is the most precious asset that we have in life. Also, I'm super passionate about 3 sustainable things in the triple bottom line for a brighter future for our planet. Community, economy, and environment are synergistically linked, and we only get one chance to do the right thing and to leave a legacy on this beautiful world we live in. And yes, I'm very proud to be part of a vast international conspiracy. Whoa! The conspiracy is to make the world a better place. So, Evo Rich, by the numbers. Who are we? What do we do? Evo Rich is an ecosystem based on marketing and is a company that provides partners with exclusive tools for creating active and passive income by the principles of the multi-level crowd investing. More on that a little bit later. We're participating in over 150 plus countries. We have 8 plus languages. We have over 1.7 million registered users, and we are headquartered in the USA amongst many, many countries as well, with many, many projects. Our mission is for global wealth distribution, safety and security, helping others, prosperity and happiness, and most importantly, realizing our dreams. Also, our why in the new economic evolution of the world, or new as we call it, is the global wealth distribution, sharing our ideas, sharing our wealth with those that are willing to keep their parachutes open for those ideas. The opportunity to become financially free and independent and to help others to show them the way to do so the same. We also love adding value to not only ourselves, but we're adding value to our community. And the law of attraction will then kick in because you're doing something that person will want, or people will want. And when you do that, you surround yourself with progressive and like-minded people. The EvoRich new ecosystem is evolving every single day. There's too many projects to mention here in one session. And we strategically every month, every week have updates and webinars, business forums to keep everybody in touch with what's happening. This is some of the team that have been running since 2011. In the middle there, Andrei Karatov, a colorful Russian entrepreneur, our CEO and our mentor, who is an absolute financial genius. In 2011, in fact, around about the early 90s, Andrei had a dream to create a global investment portfolio and utilize the resources of the financial world and of people power. He's attracted many, many high-profile professionals in his lifetime, and with Mila, Amans, Valeri, and many, many more are now shaping our future in a very, very fashionable way. You can become a consumer of the products inside the global investment portfolio. You can also become an entrepreneur and promote what products that turn you on. But most importantly, and one of the most important things that I love about this ecosystem is the co-ownership, where we can share in over 30, 40, 50, even 70% of some of the profits in what our projects provide. And of course, we also share in the losses, but because of the diversity and of the portfolio, 80 to 90% of our portfolios are performing. Maybe one or two projects fail. So what? Next, we move on. And that's the beauty of what we're creating. The EvoRich marketplace is forever evolving with a business unit, a control panel, and the API and the marketing plan, the Academy of the Private Investor. We've got new websites evolving every single month. There's a whole lot more coming, and we'll keep you updated on many of those things. Also, there's corporate websites, product landing pages, personal accounts, mobile apps, plenty for you to use and resources to get your business started. Here's just a quick snapshot of the latest EvoRich marketplace, MLCI marketplace, which is evolving and being populated with all the data from the old websites. Moving right along. Here we go. Yeah. So evo.rich is where you'll find the new websites. The old websites are still running, but the EvoRich MLCI Academy and the EvoRich Marketplace are two separate areas now that can help you to learn, earn, and share with what you're doing. The EvoRich new ecosystem, as I mentioned, many, many projects evolving. How do we keep on touch with it? Well, we figure out the MLCI, the multi-level crowd investing, is an innovative business model of entrepreneurship where we can help each other to keep each other communicated and educated. Since 2014, the idea evolved, and our first project, the Skyway International Group, we have successfully crowdfunded over $120 million, and to allow that company to evolve with major projects happening in Dubai as we speak. The International Skyway Group kicking goals with the help of our crowdfunding. So the most useful materials are all in one place, in one ecosystem. There are many sections and many pages for you to navigate through, and promotional materials to help you get to where you want to go. So what have we achieved in 2021 and so far in 2022? We've achieved plenty. The ecosystem has reached over 1.7 million partners. We have reached out to over 150 plus countries. We have many successful projects like Unitex, EvoCent, Ugain, which is yet to be released, the NDE, which is evolving, the Academy of the Private Investor, our own payment gateway system, Global Unit Pay, the Genius of Finance game, which we own, the UGPay Group, where all our major hard assets live, based in Switzerland, and there's plenty more to discuss. And we are continually reviewing what we're doing. Here's one of the stars of the show, a leader that stepped up in difficult, challenging times, Amans Munich, our #1 check earner, who has been elevated into the entrepreneurs of all time in the Eric Worre Group. And we keep up with it with news and promotions inside our business forums. And I'll just share screen again. Share, and I'll just go back to another share. A very tricky night tonight, but I love challenges. So we get all our updates now on the Oceania newsletter, which is put out by one of our Australian leading partners in Ian Birch from the Oceania Group and Eva Rich Oceania. Saturday night, which we'll cover in a minute, we had a major upgrade on the Dragon Man movie. We also, we were entertained with Mila and Newlon, who is the producer, and he was interviewed with Nerlin and Amans, gave us the project updates. The NFTs that are coming, the life cycle and explanation on how the Dragon Man will be rolled out into a movie, games, merchandise, etc., etc. We'll get into that very shortly. So we'll skip through this bit, and the launch will be in India too. That's coming up. The Evo Rich community will have exclusive offerings for the movie itself, and we are shooting for 15% of the global population because there's about 12 movies to come in the genre. We also had news on the Venti 2022, which is a great happening every single year. And the FNT, which is the Global Unit Pay share float, is happening as we speak. The tariffs go up on the 15th of September by 15%, and there are still an opportunity for you to take advantage of owning your own payment gateway system. Global Unit Pay has won international awards from last year, being voted #1 payment fiat gateway crypto payment system in the world, and just kicking goals after goals. There's plenty of there's reviews that when you get this newsletter, there's plenty of reviews from the video from that Global Unit Pay launch. We're also entertaining our partners on a Saturday night with a Saturday cinema, soon to be released another innovation, which is called Connexio, which is going to be our live streaming and entertainment center. Plenty of review on our assets, NFTs, FTs, NTTs, smart contracts launched onto our blockchain, which we co-own, and a state-of-the-art 50,000 transaction per second blockchain EOS type. There's plenty of information. Our EvoCent program is barreling along. We've just secured contracts for a Saudi Arabian syndicate that own 220 duty-free shops around the world in airports, have signed on to gain 75 mil EvoCent bottles when they are released. And of course, we've had presentations starting all around the world, including in Brisbane, Runcorn, from Ian and Leanne, who've been running EvoCent program presentations. We have a group of Australian leaders who have stepped up to the plate. When times get tough, the tough get going, and the Australian leaders are now having regular meetings on Thursday nights and producing the goods with global unit pay, and many more projects coming our way. We've started a cryptocurrency trading group with Archem, our asset manager. Archem, by the way, last year showed a operating net profit of over $1.2 million from our global investment portfolio. Tough times, the tough get going, but it's all about the financial literacy. And that is the key to help you to minimize your risks. So Archem and the team with Lorna, our Australian project manager, is running seminars, running webinars, running trading groups, Telegram groups. They're all on all the social medias. You can hook up with all those social media posts there. There's new courses coming out for the inexperienced to the experienced traders. We have major jurisdictions reviews going on with the WorldCRU. That's happening, and we expect a major announcement on the WorldCRU unfreezing in the next month to 6 weeks. Oh, take a breath. The Global Unit Managing Corporation, the Australian EvoRich, has signed contracts with EvoCent, EvoRich, and have successfully launched their first node on the EvoRich EOS blockchain. And that's a great achievement. Well done. Congratulations to all the leaders inside GM Corp. And you too can be a shareholder inside GM Corp if you use some of these links and contact myself and Shane or Stuart and get involved. It's Australian projects, Aussies creating great ideas for Aussies and Aussie rewards. And the Oceania region. Sundays, it's a must, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday afternoons for the workshop, the nuts and bolts, where we pull apart the curtain, pull the curtains back, and we find out what's going on and how to inside our EvoRich community. So you can subscribe to the EvoRich Oceania newsletter, get all the updates I'm talking about. Ian puts up a dream location, Bora Bora, every week in his newsletter through the Oceania region, which is great to see. And of course, we have the list of the live presentations around the Southeast and Australia area with all our Australian top leaders and much, much more. So back to the updates. Like I mentioned, I prefer to look at them in my browser, which you can. And this week's newsletter seen Andre come up with his latest part sequel to the book that he is currently writing. And it's a great read. It's a great motivational read, and you can go to his blog and view the updates. And there's just some of the book, and you can get in a PDF form and also in slide form as well. So let's I'll just check. Okay, so let's get into some of the updates of what's just occurred this week and over the last few weeks. And I'll just change my slide again. Okay, here we go. Righto, what's been happening? A global review of our WorldCRU and our global investment portfolio. This is a much needed update that partners have been yearning for. And 2 Saturday nights ago, we had a complete review of our portfolio, where we're heading, what's happening behind the scenes, how things are being affected, and the local leaders in Amans and Amila and Valentine and a number of others stood up and gave us the updates. Essentially, what it means is never give up. The good ship EvoRich is in good hands. The WorldCRU is being developed and worked on. It is being currently suspended at the moment while the geopolitical bullshit is happening. I call it that because that's what it all is. And the crew and the UNTB are very safe. with UNTB being the star of the show. As our blockchain evolves, everybody needs UNTB in a scarcity fashion to run their blockchain. We are attracting large companies, business owners, and individual entrepreneurs and partners to our blockchain, and they all need UNTB to make it run. The CRU is the gateway to the WorldCRU. More on that a little bit later, but the good ship WorldCRU is very, very safe and sound. And as you can see, we are going around the storm. Mila presented the global portfolio highlights with Mila is one of our leading top leaders in the Evo Rich community. Mila has been with the company for over 6 years, I believe, and is one of the stars of the show. She's a very smart businesswoman, very approachable, very humble. I met her in India in 2019 at Eventi 2019, a lovely lady, and have certainly got a very smart head on her shoulders. Today's agenda at that meeting, she spoke about and taught us a bit of a lesson on venture capital market reviews, the global investment portfolio projects, the strategy behind the selection and timeframes, FNT token presale. We will skip through these slides very quickly because there's another deck to get through before the end of the presentation. Just briefly, what venture capital is. Venture capital is about taking innovative ideas, bringing them to a company fashion, creating startups and representing technology, industries, and software developments, cloud computing, artificial intelligences, pharmaceuticals, biopharmaceuticals, financial technologies, innovative transportation technologies, and space development. And we are involved in most of those projects. These are the stages of venture capitals and what happens. The idea starts off, it goes to a seed stage, and then a newly formed company gets a startup, early stages, expansion, mezzanine stage, and the exit stage is when the company goes to public by selling shares during the IPO or during the pre-IPO. This is the curve. We call it the J curve. The ideas start at the beginning, then there's a 3 to 5 year period of getting ideas off the ground. Some work, most fail. Early growth and early development sees a company grow inside the next 10 to 15 years. It may take to get towards that expansion area. And by that time, IPOs may begin. Some great examples of IPOs and the time taken, like Alibaba, for example, with Jack Ma. It took him nearly 20 years to launch, to get the Alibaba to an exit stage. And look at it now. People didn't want to know about his shares 20 years before. And there's a famous story around that with one of his accountants. So the global investment portfolio, what is it all about? We are in seed phase in most of our projects. With our Ural Gold, our gold mining, it's in watermelon seeds. The Unitex crypto fiat exchange that we have is in seed phase as well. Global UGPay and our FNT launch, the new digital evolution that we're evolving. Dragon Man, the movie, is in its seed phase. And UGain is yet to come, and Evo Rich is only in its infancy as well. The checklist: can all projects be successful? No. Can each project add value to the total baskets? Yes. Can some projects be dried or rotten? Of course they can. Can some projects be so successful that they cover up the invested costs? Yes, they can. And yes, they are. Our projects are blossoming at the moment. If we had a fire sale tomorrow, our fully capitalized portfolio of over $60 billion in assets would whittle down to a fire sale of over $100 million in net figures. So that's how successful we've been, and that's a very conservative estimate of what we have today. And as you can see, we have a very balanced spread of our financial, with a very strong liquidity and no debt, most importantly. Harvesting strategy is the way to go at the moment. This is what the smart companies of the world are doing. Aman's our leader, one of our leaders, presented the way forward for the projects. You can be on the fence waiting, and that's okay. And let's see how it goes. Let others do the work. Passive strategy. That's what some people prefer. You can be active or reactive. When shit happens, I know I need to do something. Let me do it all. Survival strategy. But most people in our community are proactive. What are the best options to give desired results? Who can I do it with? Preparation, logic, planning, strategies, learning, etc. That's our motto, our proactive strategy that we have. Planning and preparation is what it's all about, and creating a roadmap to creation to minimize failure and increase the success and upon execution. Our potential projects shortlist. This is where our liquidity is coming from at the moment. And this is what we're concentrating on to gain that liquidity to fund other projects. Our EvoScent program is not just about perfume. It's about personal development. It's about personal accessories, sports line, fashion products, and much, much more. Can't wait for the natural oil fragrances to be launched as well. The F&T float from Global Unit Pay, amazing. Fancy, imagine having initial shares in PayPal, you know, when it started up some 30 odd years ago, or whatever it was, 25 years ago. Imagine having that opportunity. Well, API, the Academy of the Private Investor, is already probably the world's premier financial literacy portal. It's an education juggernaut covering all aspects. Dragon Man, the movie, soon to be seen very, very soon. More on that coming up. And one of the quiet stars of the show is the Smart Portfolio, an amazing software that actually gathers 100, 50, and 30 of the top cryptos in the marketplace and helps you to trade with them. More on that coming up in future weeks and months on our liquidity. The ongoing work in progress, we have the WorldCRU roadmap, the STO, the security token offering, that's being worked on. By the end of October, we've been promised a roadmap, if not before. The blockchain development is absolutely barreling. It's a crazy world out there with NFTs, nodes, all sorts of EOS blockchain projects coming online, and super fast speed. 50,000 transactions per second. The Unitex development, wow, that's our crypto exchange. We are co-owners. We have 50% ownership in that exchange, and the other 50% have decided to float some of their ownership shares in a personalized float that we've been partaking in. The marketplace for EvoRich, as we've seen that just previously, NDE, the Genes of Finance game, which has now been accepted in Education Russia as a premier school resource, and it is also being opened up and rolled out across Europe as well. Quantum technology, you're going to hear a lot more about it. It is super fast Starlink internet speeds and technology around finances, transactions, and much, much more. And of course, our Ural Gold Mountains project, and with our other equity in other gold mining areas. That's going to be the star of the show one day, very, very soon. And don't forget Andre's dream to have the WorldCRU, each WorldCRU backed by 1 ounce of gold in the future, one day. Projects on pause, our diamond production due to geopolitical problems and logistics. Basalt, also the same. They are locally in production, but not internationally. UGain needs more crowdfunding. Digital doubles, we now own 100% of. Real estate hasn't gone anywhere. We've got a substantial, large real estate portfolio. Construction, etc., is being put on hold while the geopolitical stuff's happening. And of course, Edu Cafe, a great idea. We rolled out a few cafes that didn't work, so we put that on hold. A great concept for education while you eat. So the F&T project, we went through, we've spoken about that with the global UGPay people. There's much more coming with that. Just looking at the time, 23:02, conscious of the time. There are limited amounts of packages left. So take a position in the global UGPay whitelist. Also, as a comparison, why would you do that? CRO, crypto.com, they floated a number of years back and 24x'd their portfolio and started their shares at $2.89. We, in comparison, are starting our float at around 1 to 3 cents, and by the time it hits the public, we expect it to be 5+ cents. And how much X are we going to expand our operations? Only time will tell. Here's an example of another successful money exchanger. In fact, you might have heard of WireX. WireX did exactly that. They expanded a number of years ago. They floated. They 10x their business. They now have over 3 million active customers and have a full token capitalization of $1 billion. So move over. Who will be the next unicorn company? Yes, these are our projections. Let's hope they come off. Annaly Capital Management started in 1997, now worth $2.3 billion. If a money exchange or a crypto exchange are run correctly, then it's a license to print money, just like a casino. When somebody wins, somebody loses. Somebody gains because somebody gets commission, and that's what and margins, and that's what it's all about. More on the roadmap, plenty more on the roadmap, much more to talk about. And there is a price change, as mentioned, coming up in the 15th of September. And then finishing off, in summary, individual project success can benefit to the entire portfolio. Every project needs extra resources to develop further. The overall basket of success depends on each project profitability, usability, and development. And that means it's up to us. It's not blaming anybody else, but it's up to us to support these projects, support the winners, and the losers can please themselves. WorldCRU will be detailed roadmap expected by the end of this month or end of October. You know how it goes when things are in the planning stage. So we'll stop that one and we'll get into the final piece of presentation, which was Saturday night. Dragon Man. The age of Dragon Man is upon us. The first Asian martial arts superhero movie will be hitting our screens on the network platforms and cinemas around the world inside the next 3 to 6 months, depending on our campaign that's about to be launched in the next few days or weeks. Very soon coming up. Everything's very hush-hush, very secret, but the excitement is building. Mila again presented with Amans, and the agenda was the story of the project with Newland, the maker, the producer, the genius behind the movie set, and the Kit Marvel Company and the KG Club production. Nerlin has links to the Marvel Group as well and is a special effects specialist. So Dragon Man was interviewed. Nerlin and Mila interviewed him, and he gave us some great insights. 12 movies coming our way, 12 different heroes, a prison planet, a full genre of storylines, with the Dragon Man being the superhero and his strength will be the truth. Good versus evil. Love it. Where good always wins over those evil scumbags. And we had a snapshot, as we've seen at the beginning of the presentation here, the Dragon Man movie. And of course, what movie these days would not be a movie without NFTs? What are NFTs? Non-fungible tokens. In other words, digital collectibles that can be attributed to movie frames, genres, and specific topics, and sold online as collectibles to the open source public. And Aman spoke about that, our project being the state-of-the-art Web 3.0, which is an incredible resource that's happening around the globe. The Dragon Man movie has been completed in both Indian and Chinese. They will be subliminally implementing our projects inside the movie with billboards and advertising inside in the streets of Dragon Man, and where the sets are being created. And why NFTs? Because they are hot property. Again, we will be creating 7,000 pieces, 7,000 NFTs, and they will be sold accordingly into the open market. And we will get first choice of 2,000 of those NFTs coming up very, very soon in the first release. The benefits to being a Dragon Man co-owner inside the global investment portfolio and to own NFTs is that you will be receiving royalties from the movie. How many of us would aspire to owning royalties in movies? We hear about it all the time, how successful people have royalties in movies forever and a day. Well, we are on the way to doing just that. Box office revenue, our first two markets will create a huge injection of cash and interest. India and China, virtually 2/3 of the world's population in the Asian market will be released. And in participation in future movies, that's what's going to fund it all. The points pool, you'll be able to gain points to be able to buy merchandise, to get discounts on tickets, etc., and of course, be able to trade, your NFTs down the track as well with other peer-to-peer transactions. The NFTs, I won't go into the absolute details. I'll probably confuse many people that are listening, but it's a great concept, and it's something that's based on scarcity. The generatable NFT will be stakeable. You'll be able to generate more NFTs from staking your NFTs, a whole lot more behind it. The explanation, you'll be able to 10x your NFTs to a rare NFT, from the rare to the epic, etc. The benefits are magnificent. The NFTs will include a second run of the movie with the points that you gain. You'll be able to owning more NFTs will let you have more points and in the total pool, and you'll be able to share in some of the exclusive NFTs to strengthen your percentage and ownership of the total points pool of the movies coming out. In summary, each tradable NFT generates a royalty, and the parts of the box office income will be distributed to the points pool, and up to 70% of the royalties will be generated into the points pool, into the co-owners. So the exclusive offer for our community, the benefits, Mila explained the benefits of being part of our global investment portfolio and why you should take a position in it ASAP. And the India launch will be very, very soon. The Indians are going maniac over it already that we're on the webinar. We had some 5,000 people on our webinar the other day, and they're already chomping at the bit, wanting to buy as many NFTs as they can get their hands on. And why wouldn't you? So it is an EvoRich exclusive launch. There will be a public launch down the track, and there is much more information to come out with pricing and tariffs to be released very soon. So you can be a NFT collector, you can be a co-owner of the movie, and you can also be an entrepreneur and to promote it to just about anybody in any age group. Look out. So being an MLCI entrepreneur is what it's all about. You can be involved from young millennials, Generation X's, Generation Y's, doesn't matter what age you are. Everybody loves to collect bubblegum cards, baseball cards, footy cards, you name it. We all had them as kids. Now it's the world of NFTs. So this project will benefit our global investment portfolio, underpinning millions of dollars of box office revenues, monetization with merchandising, branding and marketing, and much more. The next steps, there'll be an internal private cell, which is exclusively for EvoRich partners. There will be exclusive promotions and integrations, the external market for NFT launch, the movie marketing and PR campaigns are about to hit our airwaves, finalization of the legal work and the framework around the movie itself. Very important, because we are launching this movie globally in many countries, and every country has its own jurisdictions and legalities around these types of films. And of course, there will be cinema launches, as mentioned, in India, China, and launching out from there. And of course, an online platform, global launch, and an English version of the movie down the track as well. So, want to know more? Well, come along to Eventi, our annual celebration of the MLCI genre, October 29th and 30th. It is the 8th year of operations of the MLCI. And then you can see the tariffs, 48, 688, 188, and 5,000. I reckon that should have been 4,888. But anyway, that's 8 being the infinity number in Geometra, and a very powerful symbol of success. Get your tickets, get enrolled, see who invited you here tonight or to this webinar. Get back in touch with them and get your tickets and get a look at what's happening over that weekend, full of information and financial literacy. So thank you for your attention. That's a wrap, a whole lot of information in 50 minutes, and we'll now stop our share and open it up for Q&As, and I will stop the recording as well.